In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 habits, new things that I've implemented into my own life that I feel have made a difference in the first quarter of 2025. Let's get into it. We're almost at the end of 2020. I don't know. We've almost reached the end of the first quarter of 2025. And we made those goals and we said 2025 was going to be different. So I just wanted to check in with you guys, like friends. How have you been? Nobody? Never mind. I'm not going to do that. First thing for me that I'm trying to do in 2025, which is kind of new, is meal prepping. By this, I don't mean batch cooking, because I know batch cooking is a big thing in social media where you cook maybe one meal and you eat that meal for 5 days or 7 days, or you cook maybe 2 meals, or you cook the same kind of food for breakfast, and then you cook something different for lunch and cook something different for dinner. Now, I cannot do that. I just find it hard. Well, anyway, my breakfast tends to be the same thing. I always eat oats. That's my breakfast. Or I eat the food from the night before. I'm African. That's how we did it when we were growing up. I did move to the stage where I was eating like cereals for breakfast. Then I kind of stopped that. And then I went back to just eating leftovers. It's cook. I just eat leftovers. If I'm going to have breakfast now, I eat leftovers or I eat oats for breakfast. So my point is, the one thing that I have done differently this year is to meal prep, in a sense that I prepare myself what I'm going to be eating. I don't necessarily cook it, but I just need to know what are the things that I'm going to be eating this week. So what I do is, normally on a Sunday or a Saturday, I write down what I have like in the fridge and the cupboard, and what kind of meals I can make with that, so that when I'm tired and my decision making capacity is already reduced during the week, I don't have to be thinking of what am I going to do? What do I have? I have chicken and the chicken is frozen. Okay, so I can't cook the chicken because it's frozen. Now I'm gonna get takeout. You know what I mean? So I just plan. I know, okay, we have chicken, we have beef, maybe we have mince, and we have cans of this, and these are the vegetables that we have in the house, and this is what I can make, so that there are no surprises. So that's the one thing that I feel like has made a difference in this 2025, the first quarter, and something that I'm going to continue doing throughout the year, just to have no surprises, plan my meals for myself and my son, so that I know what we're eating. And I think that has made the difference. I'm not spending less money yet. I don't know, for some reason I'm spending so much money on groceries. I still need to kind of figure that out, see why is that. But one problem at a time. We can't fix everything in all in one go. Rome wasn't built in a day. So for now, I know my meals, I know what they're going to be, I know the fruits that are in the house. It's normally oranges, apples and bananas. I'm very simple. There's nothing spectacular. It's those 3, and sometimes we get grapes and then get strawberries, but the strawberries normally mold and sit in the house. I just haven't figured a way of how to incorporate them into my meals. So meal planning has been very, very helpful. The other thing that I'm doing in 2025, that I've done since January, is I'm more intentional with my time. What I mean by that is that I'm kind of self-aware about how I use my time. For example, if I'm sitting down and watching TV, if I'm watching an episode, I've been watching Annie with an E. A friend of mine was reading Anne of Green Gables, the book, a couple of years ago, and she had asked me to read the book because she knows that should be the kind of genre I'd be interested in. I just never got to read the book. So when I saw Anne of Annie with the E on Netflix, I decided to watch it. Anyway, going back to being intentional with my time. My point is, when I sit down and watch TV, I don't allow myself to feel guilty about it, because I tell myself, okay, this is the 90 minutes that I'm putting towards relaxation and just winding down and zoning out. And then after that 90 minutes, if I told myself this is the 90 minutes or whatever, I'm going to stand up and move on, rather than sitting there, one episode ends, I feel guilty, and then watch the next episode, and then I feel guilty again. I'm like, oh, I might as well finish the season now, because I know guilt kind of has that debilitating effect on us sometimes, that you feel like, oh, well, I've just ruined the day now, I might as well just continue. You know what I mean? Well, I'm saying a lot of you know what I mean. So that's one thing. I'm being intentional with my time when I'm relaxing. I also kind of prioritize relaxing. Just, if I'm sitting down and doing nothing, that's my relaxing time. Or if I'm going for a walk outside, that's my relaxing time. Or if I'm going for a run. I went yesterday before church. I found that very kind of great. It was nice. Please don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, so that you can get notified when we post. Also, that I just keep coming up on your For You page as well. And thank you so much for watching. Bye. it was nice. I ended up meeting a friend on the way, and it was just a short run, but I really enjoyed it. My point is, I'm really being intentional. I'm really being intentional with my time. Even if I'm out at the park playing with my son, I tell myself, this is a good thing. I'm not wasting time, because I don't know, as a person, I just have this perpetual guilt that, oh, I'm wasting time. Oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. But just being intentional that, okay, look, you need to do this. You need to relax. You need to, you need to go out, those kind of things. So I've found that it's been helping me be a bit more productive, but it's also been just helping me to kind of relax better. Yeah, so that's the second thing. The second thing is being more intentional with my time. Well, this one is a bit, still working on it. It's setting boundaries. When you say, oh, I'm setting boundaries, it always seems like you're setting boundaries against people. But sometimes you set boundaries against yourself, like, I'm not going to do this because I'm not that kind of person anymore. Or I'm not going to do this. You say no, I'm saying no to myself. I'm not going to do this because it's not in alignment with my goals, or it's not in alignment with who I'm trying to become. It's not an alignment on my, like the overarching goals of my life. So I tell myself no sometimes, just so that if something is not in keeping with what I'm trying to achieve, then I tell myself no. Not doing things that make you feel awkward or sad just because it brings somebody. Oh no, let me rephrase this. I'm trying to stop myself from doing things that bring me discomfort just because I tell myself, oh, it's going to look awkward, or it's going to be awkward for the other person. You know what I mean? I think as I'm still on the process of recovering as a people pleaser, I think I put too much of my energy and too much of my my life and thoughts into, oh, well, if I don't show up for this, then it's going to look bad. Or if I don't, if I don't agree with this person, then these are the effects that it's going to have. Now I'm just learning to prioritize my happiness as well, and just prioritize how things make me feel. So if a situation makes me feel bad, or if a space makes me feel bad, I allow myself to remove myself from that situation. I don't show up to those spaces anymore, and then I will deal with the repercussions of that, because it's very nice and well to say, oh, if cut people out, do this, do that, but you also have to know that with that there's always going to be kind of repercussions. So I'm trying to not kind of do damage control all the time. I'm just trying to be like, look, I don't like this space. I don't like how it makes me feel. I'm not going to show up to it. And then I will deal with the repercussions of that if they do come. Because sometimes I also feel like we put so much thought into how people are going to perceive us or think. I'm setting boundaries for myself, and it's uncomfortable most times. I'm setting boundaries, just removing myself from spaces that don't bring me joy and peace, and those and where I don't feel the love. I'm prioritizing sleep. I try to sleep at the same time every day now. What I've noticed has happened is that I tend to then wake up at the same time every day. And sometimes I don't mean to wake up at the time, but because I've kind of programmed myself that way, now I wake up. Now, it's not a great thing yet. I know most of the time when you're like, oh, well, now I wake up at the same time every day, it always seems like a positive thing. For me, not yet. I'm still working on it, because I end up waking, for example, I'll just be honest, I wake up at 5:30 now. 5:30, my eyes just go wide open and I'm awake. The problem is the procrastinator in me is still going to procrastinate. So I'm still working on that aspect. So the ideal would be I wake up at 5:30, I'm out of bed maybe by 6:20, and I'm moving and I'm getting things done. Just things in terms of self-care, because it is early. Like, what are you going to be doing? So just self-care, getting set up for the day. But that hasn't happened for me yet. But it is helping in a sense that I'm getting full night's sleep now, because I'm prioritizing self-care. So I'm getting 7 hours, 8 hours of sleep every day, which is great. And there's been numerous studies. We can't overstate the importance of sleeping, and I love sleeping, so obviously I'm going to say this, but I was just saying, like, you can't overstate the importance of sleeping. And so even though I don't think it has translated into productivity yet, I think it's good in a sense that I'm sleeping. Like, I go to bed now, I read I read this book, which I'm almost finishing. I read it. The reason I'm laughing that I'm reading a book is that it's one of those bestsellers, and everybody loved it when it first came out, but I just never caught on to it. I feel like it's too, the writing to me it feels disingenuous. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like conversations that people would have with each other. So, but I'm still reading the book, because as much as I'm saying that, there are still like there's still good advice and good bits that you can pick up from that book. I will share the book with you in some other video. So I'm prioritizing sleeping. That's the fourth thing. The last part is decluttering. I've shared this in a previous video, but I've been doing it gradually. You know, I've been trying to declutter gradually. This weekend, I took out some of my clothes, which I've either just held on for years because, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, I bought this when I was living in Pretoria. I bought this when this was my first job, or I got this. You know, you have some romantical story behind it, so I just keep it. And then some of them, I like them, especially shirts. But I have my arms; they have changed, so the arms don't fit anymore. So the rest of the shirts would fit, but the arms would just be tight, like I'm a wrestler, like I'm a wrestler. So now I don't wear, and they are formal shirts, and I've been holding on to these shirts for ages because there was a part of me that felt like, oh, if I'm consistent with working out and eating healthy, then my arms, maybe they'll tone down and I'll fit into those, my arms will fit into those shirts again. It just hasn't happened. I think it's like going close to 3 years now. So I've decided to, you know, just to and just tell my heart it's okay, you can let go of these. So I've been decluttering. I'm going to continue decluttering because there's still a lot in this house that needs to go, and more as the year goes by, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll only have things that I wear and things that we use and things that we need, and that's it. Nothing that's just there because what if one day we need it. You know, those cables, those computer cables that we just keep. What if I need it one day? Oh, one thing that I'm also very proud of myself for doing, I'll insert a clip. I shared a couple of videos back that I had cards, you know, like Christmas cards, Valentine's cards, birthday cards, every event cards from the last couple of years, and we had a cupboard that we're just putting them in, and they accumulated. I think they were like, there was a stack this big. So I got rid of those cards. I was going to scrapbook with them, but then I decided I'm just making more of a mess. So I appreciate the sentiment with which the people sent them to me or to us, but I don't think they'll be too heartbroken if they heard that I threw them away after 3 or 4 years. So very happy I've gotten rid of those cards. The one thing that I wanted to ask you guys, if you were studying, whatever level you were studying at, and you finished, when do you decide then it's okay to get rid of the material from your course? Yes, that's my question. Whatever course you did, whatever level, when you move on from that, how long do you keep the stacks of paper from your coursework? How long do you keep that? And when do you decide to get rid of it? Just for a bit of context, I did my master's and my PhD in microbiology. And so I kept, and you know, sometimes we write a lot. So now I know, obviously, I'm not going to get rid of my lab books as such, but I have material from conferences and congresses and just different things that I've accumulated over the years that I have. And the ideal situation would be I would scan everything and make soft copies and then get rid of what I have on paper. But this is me. I'm not going to do that. A lot would have to happen for me to then change to that kind of person, to be the person that scans things and then gets rid. I just want to get rid of the paper. So tell me, when do you get rid of it? Okay. So much for watching. Thank you for sticking to it. I hope something that you could implement in your own life as well. And if you have anything that you've been using in this 2025 Q1, we're almost at the end, baby. If you've found something, please let me know.